Good morning, Newport. Primary elections are right around the corner, and you should have received your mail-in ballot by now. If you're one of the targeted voters who's classified as easily manipulated, you've received this mailer. Let's take a look at this Pro Measure B mailer. Now, keep in mind, this is what special interest groups are paying to send to your home in order to convince you to vote for their measure. You would think there'd be a list of pros to the measure in order to educate you on why this is good for the city, but if you look carefully, you can't find a single true fact that's not meant to mislead you. Now, the Pro Measure B cartel has so little to say on why Measure B is great that they have to revert to defining a random word that makes them sound credible. Not only do they just define a word as their argument, they even have the dictionary marks on there. You know, in case you don't know how to pronounce the word accountability. But what does accountability have to do with Measure B? Don't we already elect 7 city council members that are accountable to the citizens who voted for them? Let's look at another graphic repeatedly used for Pro Measure B mailers. As they clearly have pointed out, our current system is a representative democracy, electing 7 council members to represent our 7 districts. They then vote on who will be mayor for 1 year. Now look how Measure B changes that. Our 7 city council members suddenly disappear. Poof! Where did our city council members go? Let's take a look at the near future if Measure B passes.
Thank you again, Mr. Mayor, for taking time out of your busy schedule to answer some questions for my high school senior leadership project. I have just one more question.
Go right on ahead, Billy. And please, keep taking notes.
So, Mr. Mayor, you ran on a campaign of accountability. How do you think that's worked out for you?
I'm very accountable, Billy. I'm the most accountable man in this city. You see, it used to be accountability spread out between 7 city council members. But now, it's just me, Mr. Mayor. And I'm accountable to everybody, especially my donors. Shout out to Dave Ellis. I love that guy.
Okay, so just to make sure I got this all right, when Measure B passed 8 years ago, the mayor got a lot more powerful, but that's a good thing because you're such a good guy.
You got that right, Billy. Take notes.
And then more money from special interest groups started pouring into the mayor campaigns.
And that's a good thing, Billy.
And then also the city council members, basically they became irrelevant.
We don't need them. Billy, you're missing the biggest, most important point. And that's, you gotta be nice to me. You play nice with me, you treat me with respect, and I'll cut you a few favors here and there.
Well, even though my grandma is much lonelier and more unhealthy now that you closed the Oasis Senior Center, I am glad that you took those funds and invested in offshore oil drilling so that our city's economy will be better than everybody else's.
I'm sorry to hear about your grandma. She's a nice lady, but you know, special interest groups, they don't really care about the well-being of your grandma. So, it is what it is. Now get out of here, Billy. And do me a favor, don't listen to those liberal fruitcake teachers. Go on.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Ugh. I wonder if the Newport Beach Public Library will still exist in that future. I hope we don't have to find out. That's it for today. Good morning, Newport tip line's ringing. Hello, good morning, Newport. Oh, you're worried Measure B is not going to pass and you want to pay off Good Morning Newport? Well, money does talk in local politics. Triple that number and you got yourself a deal. I'm Alex Crawford saying from the back bay to the wedge, from Newport Coast to the river jetties, good morning, Newport.